Hi. As you know, we went away this weekend and we left our two little ones home. They were at boot camp for the long weekend, and we just had Ricky with us. We took our camper, and I, for some reason, I'm not sure what happened, but I did not have my power cord with me to plug in our camper. But luckily I have solar and was able to run most of the things off our solar. So that worked out okay, and not having to run the air conditioner, believe it or not, because at night it really was cool. So we got away with that. Um, the campground that we stayed at was really nice. A lot of snowbirds were there, and it looks like a lot of them stay at the campground for most of the time. They have a lot of events going on, trips they could take to like the theater and whatever events were going on in Fort Myers. That's the area we had lived in for about 12 years, 14 years. Anyway, um, so at the campground they had like karaoke, they had aerobics in the pool. They had pancake breakfast. They had basketball court, shuffleboard, pickleball. What else did I see them doing? There were things for, it was on the water, so there were boating events and what's that? Some other games. Anyway, just days full of stuff, and you could tell as early in the morning till late at night people were driving around my golf carts and meeting with each other. So I was really impressed. It's a great place for seniors. There were a lot of seniors to go and stay active. So keeping that in mind, if I ever go for an extended amount of time, which I probably wouldn't, because one, the heat would bother me. It was tolerable in February. The days didn't get terribly hot and the nights were nice and cold or cool. But the traffic, I don't miss it, and especially during season when all the snowbirds are down and driving and they've expanded the roads because of all the building they're doing there. I just couldn't wait to get back into my own new roads that I've been accustomed to now that I've moved. I can't believe, what a change in traffic from down there to here. I could believe it, but it just seems so much worse going back and driving and all that I couldn't wait. And I said to myself, it just proves that I made the right move. I'm glad we moved to South Carolina, just because now we have a little bit of a winter without an extended period of cold. So anyway, going back to the camping, it was nice being able to, like I said, walk Ricky on his own, not have the other two little ones barking and trying to keep up. Or I did notice that Ricky, when we walked past another dog, didn't even bother him. He usually does bark, as Bixby does as well, when we pass by other dogs, and Ricky didn't do that. So there's a little bit of that. I don't know if it's alpha or protecting or what it is, why he wasn't doing it so much, but he really wasn't himself while we were away. He didn't eat, really. We had to kind of coax him every meal that we tried to get into him, and we gave him foods that he really loves. And any of the treats we bought for him, he just didn't bother with. He didn't do any of that. So we were a little bit concerned with, the way he was acting, and we weren't sure if it was he didn't feel good or if he felt lost without the two little pain in the butts. But definitely was off. So we couldn't wait to really get him home for that reason, to see if maybe he wasn't feeling good or if it was just him being without his siblings that made a difference. But he did eat last night when we got home. He did dry heave in the car, which he never does, and he did do that on the way home yesterday. But today he's been laying around. He didn't eat his breakfast, but he hasn't been eating breakfast lately. So I think that has to do with whatever's going on with him, which we're going to do his blood work again in a few weeks to see what's going on. The two little ones will be coming home today, and we will be doing some at-home training with them, or with us, to make us learn what we have to do to get them to listen to us. Part of the time that they were there was just getting them comfortable being away from us and doing things for the trainer. She said they really didn't have any high value treats or anything that they would, do anything for her to get, because I guess they're just used to getting treats no matter what. They'd never have to work for them when they're around us, so they were feeling the same way with her. So today we're going to work on a little bit of that, and I'm not going to give them as many treats as I usually do, and when I do, we're going to have them work for it or not get it. So that's going to be something new for them, but I think it'll be a positive thing in the end for all of us. I think they'll feel better and we'll feel better about being around them and bringing them out and just getting them more manners in public and with each other, hoping to cut down some of the barking that Bixby does. And I think that Ricky won't bark as much when people come over if Bixby doesn't bark as much. And Miley, she just runs away. So we're hoping to get some of her skittish, behavior calmed as well. And I think if the older dogs stop barking as much as they do when people are around, then Miley might come out of her shell a little bit and feel safer. So that's where we are with the dogs, with their training. I can't wait to see them. I feel like I've abandoned my babies, and maybe they feel like I abandoned them, especially after Gracie had left, and then I left them. I wonder if they thought that I gave them away to a new home. So that's kind of breaking my heart. Anyway, I will give you an update later when they come home. We'll get some pictures, and maybe we'll find some new personalities. So we'll check in later.